Hi, this is Matthew. I'm going to talk about a series, slightly short-lived, unfortunately canceled series called Firefly. It was on Fox in 2002, September to December, I believe. Had 14 episodes, only aired 11 of them. I guess they were aired in 3 in the UK, but then I know Sci-Fi later on did show it here. They don't show it on Wikipedia. Also, the Science Channel had it later on too, and I know Comet has it now, occasionally, like on holidays. It was a sci-fi kind of western sort of series about some people called the Browncoats that lost a war with the Alliance. They're called. They were the losing side. A guy named Mal Reynolds and a couple friends of his, Wash and his wife Zoe, were together with some others, but then they years later split off. They got a ship called the Serenity. It's a Firefly class ship. It looks like a Firefly. Even at the end of the end, it lights up like a Firefly would light up. And they go around and do a lot of smuggling and other less than legal activities, I suppose. While trying to stop this group, doing everything they can to stop them. On the way, they get an engineer named Kaylee, and I think Jane was also part of their group. He's kind of the hired gun guy, likes to shoot guns and blow things up. They all do things with their stealing kind of stuff. They later on got a person named Inara, who is, I guess you would call a lady of the night, I guess is a nice way of saying what she does. She's a companion, is the proper term. She has her own shuttle that's docked with the Serenity, where that goes on, and she will entertain other kind of more prominent people, depending on where they go. And then they also get a guy named Shepherd Book, or just Shepherd. He was a kind of a preacher kind of guy, kind of wandering around. That kind of thing. That's not necessarily opposed to some legal stuff, and then later they get found a guy named Simon, who, unbeknownst to them, has gotten his sister River aboard in a crate of some kind. I can't remember. They're stowaways, kind of like running from the law because his sister had been taken to a gifted quote-unquote program. Well, little did we know that she was being experimented on, and done all kinds of horrible things were done to her in her brain and stuff, and she kind of senses things, can hear things, has premonitions, is kind of schizophrenic. She does get over that later, kind of, but she's very damaged from this ordeal. So he broke her out, and he escaped with her, and they're on the run from the Alliance, and they join the crew. That's the makeup of the crew, doing various jobs around the galaxy, quote-unquote, trying to survive, and they're kind of on the run for these guys. So that's the premise. It's a U.S.-Chinese fusion culture, so you have a lot of Western planets, a lot of kind of more Asian-inspired writing and stuff. A lot of Chinese phrases get shoved into the lingo. So there are a lot of swear words, their slang terms are in Chinese. Very interesting. And they have other kind of terms that are slangy that we don't have. So you get a nice fusion of different things going on in the dialogue. It's pretty witty, funny stuff. Joss Whedon created it, who did Angel and Buffy and other things. Over the years, he's done. They made a pilot called Serenity. It was, it's big, kind of 2-hour-ish long things, or split over 2 episodes if you syndicate it. Fox hated it, didn't like it, made them reshoot the second episode, The Train Job. That was the pilot. Well, the problem with that is you don't know who anyone is. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the background. That's in the pilot. Well, they showed the second episode first. And it just went downhill from there. They showed other things out of order. delayed it from. They did a lot of sporting events that would preempt it. They had bad promotional campaigns to talk about it, advertise it. They did show Serenity later on, the pilot episode, like towards the end, and it was bad, just bad all around. They didn't like the way things were going on. They tried to interfere with it like they always do with networks. Just leave the show alone, people. Let the creators make their program. It goes a lot better if you just leave it alone. But they didn't, and it got canceled, and people didn't know about it, and then it kind of got a cult following. That's how I found it. There was a podcast at the time, which I saw on Wikipedia when I looked at it, and I've now forgotten it. The Signal. They talked about it. I showed it to my brother, and we were like, what the heck is this? So I literally went up to Best Buy and got the DVD set. We thought it was wonderful. And look at that same year, they made a movie of this called Serenity. It goes after the show. Also didn't do very well, but they did get it made with a lot of fan push and different things going on, trying to get this thing to survive. I did see it. I saw it in the theater. I have it on disc. I just have it digitally on Apple TV/iTunes. Same with the show. Last I checked, the show is very cheap, so you might be able to get it digitally. TV, they did pass the pilot, put in these little things about what was going on, so you would understand, which is unfortunately on the digital versions of it. I think probably on Hulu, where it does also live, but the DVDs and I assume the Blu-rays do not have this. Everywhere else I've seen it has those silly explanatory things that are not necessary, that if you've been watching it you would know what's going on, but they are included everywhere except at the DVD and Blu-ray sets, which is very annoying because they're not necessary. It's Fox being Fox and not letting their audience figure it out from week to week. If they'd shown it in correct order, we wouldn't have that issue. But yeah, I digress. It annoys me. They did that. They also had some tie-in comic books afterward as well, which I have a couple of. I think I got the combined version too, but there's some stuff after that I don't have that they've made. Yeah. I know there was a book novelization of the movie, but I don't think there was any books from the show. I've talked about Nathan Fillion, who was the main guy, Malcolm Reynolds. He did talk about reviving it. It didn't work. Disney mentioned rebooting it. They have not. This is the on 20th Century Fox, but it has not come to anything. It probably won't happen, but it's a very fun show, very enjoyable show. Something that you might like. You might not think you'd like it, but you might if you watch it. As I said, it is on Hulu, or if you have the Disney Plus, if you bundled Hulu in there, if you bundle that together, it will show up in Disney Plus, or if you've linked your Hulu separately, it will show up also in there. They should be merging soon, so that won't be an issue anymore, fairly soon. It'll just show up in Disney Plus, and there won't be any more Hulu, because they're putting Hulu into Disney Plus, as I mentioned a few times, but I'm sure DVD and Blu-ray sets are running around out there somewhere. Digital versions are out there various places. Might be able to get a good bundle, a good price on the show and the movie. Way back, I paid $12 for Firefly on iTunes, and I about lost it because it's so cheap, because the DVDs were like $30-some in 2005 when I got them. And Serenity was about $9.99 basically. It could be more now. I don't know what the prices are now, but that's what I paid for them a couple of years ago. I was astounded and like, oh yes, I want those. But $12 for 14 episodes that would have cost me $30-some in 2005. I thought, yes. But it was, of course, those TV versions. But oh well, that's okay. I have them. I can get to them in my pocket when I'm out and about, so that's fine. But it's strange. Yeah, as I said, Comet TV, which is an over-the-air network. which we do not have in Springfield, Missouri. I wish we did. YouTube TV has it, and probably some other providers. DirecTV, I'm pretty sure does, and others. You might look for it. It shows all sci-fi shows. They do occasionally show this on holidays, but they have really strange commercial breaks that don't go where they're supposed to. It's weird. There's a clearly fade to black, and they don't take it, and they take it somewhere else in the middle, so it like interrupts the show. It is weird. I don't know why they do it that way. And the times are weird because of that, and they don't start the same places. It is weird. Last I checked. They show things like Grimm, and they have the X-Files. They have Stargate SG-1 on there. A lot of cool, what I would call B-horror movies and stuff like that. Probably some other... Tales from the Dark Side, I think, is on there. Some other TV miniseries type stuff in the daytime movies. They had Twilight Zone marathoning in July, which was weird. It used to be on Sci-Fi, but they may have that too. I haven't checked their schedule in a while. They have some interesting stuff on Comet TV. I think it's on comettv.com too. You can watch it there. Last I checked. It's a neat little network you might not know about. They do have Firefly. In fact, I should go over there more, and I just don't because I have YouTube TV. It's right there, but next to the local channels, even though it's not. But it's over there. Some places do have it as a local, but we don't here. Yeah, give it a look. You might enjoy it. Miranda Baccarin is in it, who's been in things. Tudyk is Wash. Gina Torres is Zoe. She's been in Suits, for example, among other things. There's some fairly bigger names afterward. Jewel State is in it. Ron Glass. I forget who played Simon right now. I'm lost. Summer Glau is River. Or Glau, yeah. She shows up in The Big Bang Theory, and she is going to a convention, and they're bugging her about Firefly things on this train. And she's like, please leave me alone. It was a fun cameo. In season 2 is where it's at. I forget. No, is it season 1? 1 or 2? I forget where, but I think it's 2. It was funny. She shows up there. Joel State's been in a bunch of stuff. Alan Tudyk right now is in Resident Alien. He is Harry. And he's been some other voices and other things. They've all been in other stuff. Nathan Fillion's been in Castle. What else has he been in? He's been in a lot of other stuff. He's in Monsters University as a voice. They've all been in stuff. You just look for the cast of Firefly. Most of them have been in other things after. So, oh yeah, Nathan Fillion's also in the Rookie TV series. If you've seen that, he is the main guy in that series. John Nolan. Very, very, very cool show. So give it a look. It's very underrated, very much a cult movie or a show. Watched it again a couple of years ago. I'll have to go back again and watch it at some point again. I do go back to it occasionally. Just a fun little series. It should have gone on way longer than it was, but Firefly it's called. All one word, of course, like the bug, the insect. And I think that will do it for the moment. Yeah. I will see you guys in another video.